You're. Do I want to get up? No. Do I have to get up? Yes. No. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. You're. My yurts, they're not yurring this morning. Or this afternoon, rather. You're. There you go, there you go. I'm awake now, a little bit. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all the things. You know what I didn't do this whole time? Get jodienda. I usually like to push this in a little bit. We're not going to talk about the fact that I still got this fucking wonky ass tripod going on. There we go, it stopped. So we got some construction going on this morning, which is fine. I ain't even gonna stress it. I'm just gonna talk a little bit louder. A little bit. Good morning to some, good afternoon to some, good evening to those of y'all that are like me. And it's been a day today. It's been a day. Hi Chauncey, hi Bramilda, hi Shayna. Oh, we lit today. Okay. Hi Heather, good morning. Hi Annie. What time is it where you are, Annie? On my lunch break. Nice. Bien provecho. You heard? Eat something for me too, because I'm starving. I'm starving. Hi, Christina. So, I'm not even going to hold y'all. I really don't know what I was thinking. I really don't know what I was thinking. I don't. Because peep game, right? We got cards that are here. So 5 cards, right? So we're going to get to this in a second. But like, watch this. Hold on. Why Izzy gotta text me always? Like, you're not supposed to be in school right now? You not? Okay. Alright, so we got 5 cards there, but like, peep game. Oh, I didn't even show y'all this one. So this is gonna be, it's gonna be that type of day today. It's gonna be that type of reading. I actually canceled 2 things because, quite frankly, I was about to come on here and be like, we're not gonna be on here that long, but honestly, it's just, I don't know, it's one of those days, right? Somebody's like, bitch, you're not just gonna bypass the fact that the madhouse is out and open. Just one of those days, you heard? Just one of those days. So we're gonna get into the cards. The deck that I'm starting out with, for anybody who is wondering, is the Keymasters Tarot. That's the one that we're gonna start out with. I do got some Oracle decks on the table, which you guys probably would have noticed. There's actually 3 decks that are actually Oracle. So for somebody who don't usually do Oracle, like 2 of them, I've never even pulled from on the channel. Okay, so it's just, again, one of those days. And also, I don't know, we're just gonna go with the vibes today. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Chicken soup. Damn. Did I say bien provecho? But like, damn. It's the weather. It's the weather. It's the weather. Heather said, whoa, girl. You know what's funny is that I was putting the decks on the table and I'm like, dead ass right now? Like, I was literally going back and forth in my head like, nah, no, yeah. Like, that was me just now. And also, shout out to the members. We just did a reading, obviously, for the members. I like to do them always right before we go live, amongst other videos. So we're gonna get right in. Like I said, we in New York City. We in the ghetto. So it's gonna be loud outside, but we just gonna get into it, okay? Hi, Laverne. This is gonna be a good one. Oh my god. I'm a little bit worried. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm a lot worried. I'm a lot. You know what it is? It's not y'all, it's me. The fact that I already came into this and I know that I was like, I literally put mad shit to the side today. Cause the energy, I already know. I already know. So I'm gonna try to not go on tangents today. I'm gonna try to just get the cards out and like say what's on the cards. Y'all gonna have to trust me today. I don't know that I'm gonna be explaining too much today. Okay, that's just the vibes. So I got somebody that's not thinking it through. Not thinking it through, didn't think it through. Remember the other day we were talking about bridges being burned? So it's kind of giving me along those lines, that vibe. However, more to the fact that they not thinking it through if this is currently, or they haven't thought it through if this is about to go down, you know what I'm saying? They didn't think it through if it's something that happened already. Time, right? Time is funny like that. The point is that this motherfucker, not only are they impulsive and probably even immature, this energy, whether it's a man or a woman, with the fourth because it's the King of Wands, but with the Four of Pentacles, this is somebody who's not going to change their behavior. Maybe doesn't even see a problem with their behavior. This is somebody who, if it's their actions that we're talking and dipping into, if it's a person, this is somebody who they're not doing what's needed or necessary to change their patterns. Still, they're not going to let go of the relationship, of the person, of the idea of having it. I don't know how well that's going to work for this person, but that's literally what we got on the table. I do want to say really quick, I know I just said I wasn't about to be explaining shit, but like I do want to say this because I do have some people who do coaching calls with me, who tap in sometimes on the live streams. So y'all know I don't like to call nobody out by name because of, you know, privacy and shit. But I do want to say this alone, on the coaching calls, there's been like a theme in the last like 3 months of accountability, and more to the fact of men and women who have been stunted developmentally. It's like, so I don't even know if I want to even go through this, because when I tell you this shit triggers the fuck out of me when we be talking about it in the coaching calls. Long and short, it's somebody who, it's the energy of someone who has arrested development. Yeah, I don't know if you never heard that term, Google it. Everything you need is going to be right there in the first fucking 3 sentences, okay? This is somebody who hasn't grown up, who's and the thing is with arrested development, and I get it, I understand. That comes from somewhere, right? The trauma that you go through as a kid, or the experiences that you've shared, that you've had, that you've endured, that you've went through, yada yada yada. Everybody got a sad story. Everybody been through some shit. That don't give you an excuse to continue to be a shitty person. Period. Point blank. So we're just gonna put that there. And like I said, I'm saying this because I got a lot of people who do coaching. They come from the coaching, and then they come and they watch us on the platform, and they love it here, high key. But I just want to kind of throw this out there because this is something that we've been going through and like talking about in the calls for a while. That's this right here. I got the King of Wands. This is the immature king. This is the impulsive king. This is the one that out of all the kings got the anger problem. So for some, this person that this resonates with in your life, this person doesn't have an anger problem. This person's problem is this or it's that. But for this card particularly, it's the anger, right? And we should already know that when somebody is angry, it can come out as aggression. It can come out as tears, right? Emotion it's all the same thing. It's all in the same bracket. The point here is that somebody is very clear on who they are and what they're about, and there's not even like a push, let alone the thought of any change. Because with the Four of Pentacles, somebody's holding on to this. This is just, remember a few days ago I was saying this is just how I am. Somebody was like saying that, well, listen, yeah, I do this and I do that, or I'm this way or I'm that way, and I'm feeling this. So it's very rowdy, it's very aggressive. It's very defensive. It's very much like, this is just what I, all right, so then you be that, but you be that over there, fam. All the way the fuck over there. Thank you. Moving on. I got the Emperor, the King of Pentacles, and the Empress. This right here. This right here. This right here is funny to me. I should be on here cracking jokes, right? But with the King of Pentacles in the middle, dead smack in the middle, I feel like ain't shit funny here. Before we even talk about the Empress and the Emperor, because that's a whole pair. Before we even talk about that, we're going to talk about the fact that this King of Pentacles makes this 4 or 5 of Pentacles. There's somebody, first of all, if this is romantic, there's somebody here that you, I'm going to say this like 3 different ways so it don't go over the wrong heads, right? There's somebody, if this is romantic, there's somebody here that you beating a dead horse with this. Is not, they're not going to change. They're not going to change, right? They're not going to change, bro. This is not all, but if they understood how they made me feel, bitch, they know. They know. They know what they doing. They know what they did before they lied to you. They know that it's going to hurt you. That's why they lying to you. Okay? Because what is the odds, right, of somebody who lies to me to not hurt me, quote unquote, for those of y'all who are listening and not watching, I'm doing the quotes, right? What are the odds that you would lie to me to not hurt me, but you're still going to lose me because you lied to me? Somebody doesn't think the shit. They know what they're doing. That doesn't negate the fact that they're not thinking it through. Remember we said, someone burns the bridge, they burn the wrong bridge. Somebody's not thinking. And it's okay, collective, because it's not your job. Because for some of you, this is you. You're not thinking. And you wilding out. You wilding out. And you probably might want to take a step back and like reconsider certain things. Especially if you know that it's heavy on your heart. Especially if you know that in that story or in that timeline or in that job or in that relationship you was wrong. You may want to reconsider certain things. For some of you, for some of us, this is somebody we know, whether a friend or a romantic partner, right? Or a person at work or whatever the case is. The point is that if this is somebody you know and this is not your energy, that would mean that your energy would be the person that's wanting to change this, help this, heal this, and it's not your job. It's not your job to heal it. It's not your job to help it, and it's not your job to change it. It's your job to identify that this is what it is and to either love yourself enough or respect yourself enough and or to see this out the door. Like I said, this is how you trying to be? Cool. I'm all the way for that for you. I support you 110%. If you like it, baby, I love it. But you're going to do that from over there. You're not going to do that over here in my space. This is the 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles tells us that you're going to have to be strong enough. Because the King of Pentacles is no nonsense. The King of Pentacles, especially if he's in the upright, the energy is mad stern. Like, you're not playing in my face. You're not doing that. With the King of Pentacles, it's more than just you're not even going to play in my face. It's more so people who know you should know that people who, let me tell you something. I said I wasn't going to explain, right? This is my toxic trait. I had a guy tell me, right? This was a while ago. This was a few years ago. But I had a guy tell me, and this is not selective to him. I've been around the block a few times, right? I'm very grown. And so I can tell when a man's energy is a certain way. Whether I'm dealing with him romantic or not, right? Platonic, whatever. I can, and it's social cues. It's not even like because you fucking them, you know them in that way. Because let me tell you, you could fuck somebody for 10 years, be fucking them, and never know who they really are, okay? So that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, it's an energy thing, right? And so my whole life I've been very in tune with, like, I can just tell. I don't know, maybe it's the social cues, maybe whatever. But I can just tell when someone's energy is a certain way, right? And so because of that, from a really young age, for me personally, me the reader, I know to be a certain way with myself, even in the times where I didn't really love myself all the way through and through, even when I didn't even understand the importance of like and the value of loving myself. I even when I was struggling, I understood logically that if I give off a certain energy, it will be received the way it's given off. Right? There's no way that I'm gonna give something and it's gonna be received differently than what I'm giving, right? That can happen in other instances, but the way that I'm speaking of it, it doesn't work that way, right? Because I already feel like somebody's like, well, no. So I'm saying all of that to say this. I had somebody tell me a few years ago. They said something, I'm not going to repeat because I remember what it was. And my response was, well, why not? And this guy fixed himself and was like, I would never. I as a man, know who I could run certain shit by and who I can't. I know as a man, I know that there's certain females that I could call at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever time it is, and just to bullshit. I know that. But as a man, I also know that there's certain women I better not eat. First of all, I better not even call you without being announced. Okay? Let alone call you after a certain time. And if I'm calling you or I'm reaching out for you, it's better be for a reason that's going to be of value or some type of purpose. It better not be to what you do, what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing, what you're doing every 10 minutes. It was a breath of fresh air to have someone, mind you, this is not somebody that I was dating or nothing. This was like a regular conversation, very platonic in nature, right? Because I know a lot of people, their mind be in the gutter. But when this person said this to me, I was in it was a breath of fresh air to me, right? Because, like I said, ever since I was young, really young, I always had this in me where it's like, I don't ever want anything about me to come off like you're going to play in my face, especially when we're talking about men, right? And so my whole early adult life, I lived like that. I still live like that, but I lived like that in the beginning of my adult life, and I never had it validated. Not that I needed it to be validated, but I never had it validated, right? It's like we don't need flowers as women, but we like them, most of us, right? It's the same concept. And so when this guy said this to me, mind you, this is not somebody that I was even like romantic with. But when this guy said this, it validated for me like what I've been doing, how I've been moving. Okay. Like, all right, I'm good. Like, yeah. Because I felt that. Because don't call me at a certain time. Or don't call me and not text me before you're going to call. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, don't play in my face. Because then if I got to play back, it's going to be bad. It's going to be a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story, right? I'm saying all of that, collective, because like I said, right, we're going to rewind this. I know I'll be going on tangents. I said I wasn't going to, but here the fuck we are. I say all of that because at some point, collective, you're going to have to let this go be, whatever it's going to go be, wherever and whoever it's going to go be with, wherever it's going to go be this thing. You're going to have to leave it on its own. Let it go, detach, separate, all the things. Because what comes in is something that is in the same vibration as you. It's the Empress and the Emperor, right? And so there's a validation here, like I said in my story. There's validation here that comes in that even if you never really was like thirsting for it or looking for it, because even in my instance, the situation that I just told y'all, even when I was at my lowest, I never felt like I needed validation for that. That was not something that I ever felt like I wasn't sure if I was doing the right thing, or I wasn't sure if I was moving the right way as a woman, right? No matter if I was in my darkest times, right? Because I've been through some shit, like we all have. But even in those times, I understood, like, and I don't know, maybe this was like something that my pops put in me without even me realizing, or maybe he didn't even realize that he was instilling this in me. Because for me as a woman, that's been like one of the most imperative things in my life. Like I never want a man to ever feel like it's safe, because it ain't, or ever be comfortable playing with in my face. Like don't. aside from fucking with my kid, that's probably the worst thing you could do. You know what I mean? As a woman. So even when I've been at my lowest, I felt that. So I'm saying this not to boast my own ego, right? But to make it clear, this right here, this isn't even something that someone's, this is wish fulfillment for somebody, and you don't even realize that it's wish fulfillment. You may not have even wished for this yet. You may not even be at the point of where, which is going to bring me into my next message. That's why I'll be saying, I don't like going on these tangents, but I know and I trust and I like the way Spirit puts this on me. I just have to go with it, because there's certain things that there's a method to my madness, bro. It just is what it is. This right here, somebody isn't even at the place yet where they even understand that this is what it is that they want. So somebody's saying like, oh, I wish I had this, or I need a partner like that, or I need blah, blah, blah. They saying these things. But this, what this is, the validation that this brings, the closure that this brings in, because with the King of Pentacles in the middle, this brings in closure for shit that you either didn't even realize you needed to heal, or you didn't even realize hadn't been healed, or it brings in closure for all of the above, and for things that you didn't even realize were an issue in your life, your patterns, your behaviors, right? So if you don't even realize those certain things, how the fuck could you know to ask for certain type of healing, right? If you don't even realize that you're having certain discrepancies in certain areas. Now, all of this, going back to the beginning when I said, if this is romantic, because this, for some of you, this is a friend. For some of you, this is a coach. For some of you, because I was talking about the coaching calls. For some of you, this is something that you are going to learn at school. For some of you, y'all go to college. Somebody, they're showing me a book, a textbook. Somebody may be thinking about going back to school, whether it's for a trade or whatever it is. This is something that comes in, and it's not even something that you haven't even been chasing this. You didn't know that you needed to, or you didn't even know that it existed, let alone that there was an option to do this. Also, again, because I keep pushing it to the back, I don't know why, but if this is romantic, when this comes in, it may not feel comfortable at first, which is going to trigger a lot of people, because it's a divine pair, right? It's a divine pair. However, it's not going to be comfortable. In order to get here, first of all, you got to go through this. This alone isn't comfortable. Five of Pentacles speaks of feeling abandoned. Feeling like the most alone that you've ever felt, most isolated that you've ever felt your whole life. This is also digging up old wounding of abandonment that you may have buried so deep that you might have even forgotten. You know how sometimes you go through shit and it's so traumatic that your brain teaches you how to forget that it ever happened. Like, you ever have someone tell you, oh yeah, when this and this happened in like your childhood and shit, and you're like, I don't even remember. This happens a lot to my daughter. My daughter, we had a very rough start in the beginning. And so today, even almost 20 years old, and when we talk about certain things, she has absolutely no recollection of certain things that transpired as a kid, which is like a good thing, but a bad thing, but a bad thing, but a good thing. But it's very common is what it is, right? Because it happens to me as well, but I digress. So it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's not going to be fun at all. And I'm going to say this too, if this is romantic, this person, this energy, this space, this right here, this would have been something, this could even be a parent that operates this way, a sibling, whatever. This could be somebody, a best friend. This could be somebody or an energy that's like, at some point, this was imperative in your life. You never thought you were going to have to do life without this person. And this doesn't feel like death. This isn't somebody who has passed. This is somebody who is very much alive and kicking, but still kicking the same way. This is not dying hard. Like, this is not like old habits die hard. This habit is nowhere near ceasing to exist. This person is still very much in their space, in their energy. This person is still very comfortable there. This might be the most painful part, because I'm tapping into somebody who's completely selfless and has been selfless on their journey and their dealings with this person. What I'm saying in a real fancy way is that it's going to hurt you like a bitch to have to pull back your energy from this person. If it's a relationship, this is somebody you've been with your whole life. Or at least that's what it feels like. If you're in your 40s, you've been with them since you were in your 20s. If you are in your 30s, you've been with them since you were like 16. Like, this is a partner that you've been with for so long, and it doesn't work, and it's not healthy, and it's not okay, and it's not in alignment. Let's talk about that, right? Still, even though it's hurt you, even though it's utilized you as a martyr time and time and time and time again, even though it doesn't hesitate to lie to you, to steal from you, to cheat on you, to hurt you, to literally physically probably put their hands on you, there's something here that has somebody, and it's fear and comfortability. And or, because for some of you it's one and not the other, vice versa. I'm not here to write your story or dictate your life. If it fits, it fits, right? And so it's going to be different for everybody. But that's why I say this could also be a parent-child dynamic, because maybe that's why they also made me, pushed me to use my own daughter, because I always put myself and drown myself and use myself as excuse, or like, not excuse, example. Like, I always utilize my personal shit to use as examples, but I almost never use my daughter. And I just use my daughter. Not that I used her, but and it's not that I said anything that she wouldn't have said. She says it all the time. She speaks about this publicly. So I just want to clear that up. As a mom, it just triggered the fuck out of me that I used her as an example. Either way, I love when people be like, yo, you an Aquarius, you mad cold-hearted, you not vulnerable at all. Y'all must not tap in, because y'all don't know. The way I be just throwing myself out there, like, what? Who am I? Who am I? Either way, just because this shows up, this doesn't actually or necessarily mean that this is something you're going to walk away from. If I'm being honest, the Four of Pentacles is here. So just as hard as somebody's holding on to their toxicity, you may be holding on to that bitch too. So I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. Some of us, we're not there yet. We're not going to be able to move this out or push this away or walk away from this. Some of us are not there yet. Some of us are here right now. You feel me? So, it's fucked up, but like, it's life. You feel me? It's funny, because I literally came on this stream like, I ain't gonna do no story times today. I ain't gonna go on no tangents. God just be laughing in my face, bro. So yesterday, for those of y'all who've been with me for a while, shout out to y'all, because no soy fácil. I am not easy to deal with, bro. I'm really not. I be all over the place. It's alright. If you've been with me for a while and you follow me on any other platform, especially those of y'all who come from my Instagram, because many of y'all do, you know that I never post in real time, right? It's seldom that happens. So yesterday, a post went up on my Instagram, and it was a text thread between me and my brother, which, if you've been with me for a while, you know, because, bitch, the day he died, I came live. I had told y'all I was coming live before he passed away. He passed away. My world stopped, and then I still came live, because I'm really like that in real life. If I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. That was probably the worst hour I've ever spent, especially on social media, in my whole life. That shit was not easy. It's funny, because I just said, y'all love to say I'm not emotional. A bitch was on here bawling, okay? My life was in complete and utter shambles, okay? I want to say really quickly, shout out to everybody who don't have the luxury of taking the mental health days. There's a lot of us that are, listen, life be lifing, right? They love to say that. That's like a popular thing to say now. It's fucked up that that gains such traction in a sense of it being a popular term, because it's the most realist term that we've ever said. You know how many people go to work every day and show up, and their life at home, if they even have a home, is in complete disarray. We have people that are losing their parents. We have people that have been diagnosed with illnesses, terminal illnesses. We have people that life is happening in real time. Life is happening to people, and yet they do not have the luxury of taking time away and trying to deal or trying to heal or trying to even face the realization of where they are in their life. I'm saying all of this because I'm on a public platform, and most people who go through this don't have spaces where they can articulate these things, and don't have spaces where they are even heard or seen or felt, you know, because every day we get up and we get to it and we just keep it pushing, especially if you're from New York. If you're a New Yorker, you know, like this, you know how they say the city that never sleeps. This is why we just keep going. We don't stop. And a big part of that is because time doesn't stop for none of us. And so maybe I'm being drawn to saying this because somebody may be having that realization. So yesterday when I made that post, I made it for a reason, which I ain't got to explain to nobody because it's my platform. If you don't like it, unfollow me. You feel me? But I did make it for a reason. I don't just share certain things, especially because I'm naturally a very private person. I don't just share certain things just to share it. There's always a message. There's always a lesson. There's always something that you can take from something that I'm sharing. Even when I'm kikiing and I'm laughing and I'm joking. It's just how I am. It's how I operate. It's how I am programmed. It's how I heal. It's just how it is, right? It triggered the conversation this morning. The post yesterday triggered the conversation with somebody this morning that I deal with this person almost every day, which that's crazy because really there's nobody that I talk to every day but my daughter. But this person comes almost very close to that. And it's not like a personal relationship. This is somebody that I do work with, right? This person, when they hit me up this morning, you know, whatever they said, however the conversation went, it wasn't like a negative, it wasn't an argument or nothing like that. But it just brought certain things to perspective for me, because I'm not going to say what this person said or how this person like shared certain things. But at one point in the conversation, something that I wrote in my post, this person said like, yo, when I read that, like I felt that shit in my core. Like because I feel it in this and this situation in my life, this person was telling me. And so, you know, we were going back and forth, and I was just explaining like my stance and how I look at things and how I process, right? And when I shared with this person something that for me is common knowledge because this is my life, right? But for this person would have never thought it because, you know, I don't usually share certain things. By the end of the conversation, right? Because I'm going to make this quick. By the end of the conversation, this person said, you're going to go live today, right? Maybe this is why I came in with like some type of chip on my shoulder already, because I purposely was like, no story times today. And look at God, I'm telling all the stories now, you know? But maybe it was because of this conversation this morning that I came in like that without even realizing it, because this person was like, you're going to go live today, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And I was like, you're going to be there? He's like, yeah, I'm going to be there. This person was like, make sure that you tell them what you just told me. Make sure you say that in the reading today. And I remember that shit triggered the fuck out of me. Because as I'm, you know, going to where I was going to this morning, that kept ringing in my head. Because for me, the child in me was like, this better not pop up today. I better not have no reason for this to even be brought up today. Because I don't want to talk about it. Or I'm not ready to talk about it. And I was with that for a little while. I almost wasn't even going to go live today. I'm not even going to hold y'all. I was going to come up with something. But here I am, and for some reason that I can't explain, I'm telling the story, right? So, and I've never even said this out loud publicly, which it may seem like nothing to some people, but if it's for you, it resonates in some way, you're gonna understand why this is so hard for me to even share, right? So I was just telling y'all how I pride myself on, even when I was fucked up, I never played about me, right? Loss, when we talk about death, death is wonky, bro. It's grimy. When you talk about death to me, when people talk about death to me, it's something that I remember certain people telling me, like, yo, you a pro at dealing with people passing away. Which I don't know if they thought that shit was a compliment, because that shit, I still feel that shit in my heart, bro. Because why? You know? Like, why the fuck I had to be the one, you know? I've said before on different platforms my experience when I lost my grandmother. I never talked about it in detail, full detail. I think maybe that's why I always am drawn to speaking about it, because every time I do speak about it, I give you guys a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, but I still to this day have never spoken about it in full, right? And I'm not going to do that today. That's not what we're doing right now. But when I lost my grandmother, I was very young. I was stupid young. And I know a lot of people like, oh yeah, I lost my grandmother too, blah, blah. We in the same club, I get it. But when you, it's different when you in the front row in a funeral. That's different. You can experience loss in a million and one ways, but when you experience loss and you at the front row, it hits different. It does something to you. It changes you, whether you want to admit it or not, right? So when I lost my grandmother, I wasn't just in the front row. Actually, they tried to push me to the back row. I digress. But I was super young, number one. I had responsibilities that were not mine, shouldn't have been mine, number two. I had just became a mom. I wasn't even a woman yet. That's number three. And the list can go on and on and on, right? So this jilted me as a kid, as a young mom, as a young woman. It sent me, I was already, that's it. My path had already, as if it wasn't already fucked, right? And fast forward, not even a year later, not even a few months later, if I want to be honest, I lost somebody else who was just as important as my grandmother. That I still to this day, I say, if this person would have been alive, my life probably wouldn't have went half the ways that it went. I don't think this person would have allowed me to handle certain things the way that I did, or go through certain things that I went through, etc., right? So mind you, this is 2 hits. I'm not even 21 yet. I'm a mom. I got postpartum. Postpartum wasn't trending yet, so people didn't even know what the fuck postpartum was. Okay, definitely not the people around me, because I didn't know what the fuck it was. And if you fast forward a few more years, bam, more responsibility, another person on their deathbed. And for some reason, I guess logic was put it back on the one that probably shouldn't even have the responsibility. Not that I'm complaining, because I am grateful that I had to go through those things, because it made me who I am today. But realistically speaking and hypothetically speaking, if it was me, the adult, and it was my daughter, I would have, there was no way. So when I say loss, people look at me and say, you should be a pro at dealing with loss. Nothing prepared me for how 2012 was going to hit me. Because I had to be responsible for somebody who was going to give me hell and high water every step of the way. And when he passed, it broke me in a way that I almost felt guilty for a long time, because there was a part of me that was like, damn, did this affect me more than my grandmother's passing away? This person was family too. But for me, I just was like, still at that point in my life, I was like, damn, there shouldn't be levels of like one death affecting me more than the other. And even in my grown-ass age of almost 40, I don't think that there's different levels because something hurt you more. I just think that depending on your dynamic and your relationship with the person in your life, time, I think it affects you more. It takes more from you as a person. I think that's what it is. But back then, I didn't understand that. And then before the end, that was the beginning, before the end of 2012, I lost somebody that it wasn't even a question of losing that person. This was my first time experiencing loss with somebody, like a friend who was like family, but somebody that I had chosen, not somebody who I was born into the same bloodline with. And the way that affected me was different. So you see where I'm going with this pattern? It's like everyone, so far I'm on number 4, number 5 right now. It's everyone was different, right? And then we get to 2020. And in 2020, I lost my father. A lot of you guys know that. I speak about that shit all the time. I will speak about that shit. I speak about him every day. Every single motherfucking day. That's not to say my relationship with my father was perfect. There was a lot of, I think my relationship with my dad when he was alive was the most, I don't know if conducive is the right word, but I learned, he taught me the most about myself, even in the years that I didn't have him, or even in the years that I walked away from him. Because we always talk about how parents abandon us, but like as an adult, I had to abandon him and show him, don't play with me, which is also ties into what I was just saying in my early adulthood. That's why I said, I don't know if this is something he instilled in me, even subconsciously, without even realizing it, because there was a point in time where I didn't talk to my father for almost 3 years, because don't play in my face. And I think after that time, when we reconnected, I think it gave him a sense of respect for me that I don't know we, either one of us expected to even walk into, right? So when I lost him in 2020, the way that changed me, it took me through waves. Like and I'm saying all of this because this is my experience, this is my story, but I'm being drawn, this is why I'm not even fighting it, because I know that I'm being drawn to saying this, because even though it's my story, there's going to be things here that is going to resonate or make sense with you in whatever the fuck it is you got going on right now. I'm going to just run with that, because why the fuck I'm on here telling y'all my business, right? I digress. When my father passed, like I said, it was waves for me. It still is waves for me 5 years later. Yo, let's put it like this. My father passed away and the devil came knocking. When I tell you my father passed and not even 3 days later, the devil introduced me to somebody that would turn my whole life upside down. You didn't play about yourself before? Oh, but you weak right now. You weak right now. You at the weakest point right now. This is my chance to weasel my way in. That's how devil energy works. And when I tell you that, I'm the first person to like be like, yo, you gotta be accountable for your shit, right? So it bothered and it triggered me when I even, because for the first like few years after my father died, I didn't even realize what the fuck was happening. It was like you know when you're on a roller coaster and shit just happens and you don't even realize, like you see the roller coaster after the fact. Like, oh shit, I went through 3 circles and 9 dips and 4 skips and all that shit, right? You don't realize it when you on the bitch, but it's after the fact that you're like, oh shit, you know? That was my life for the first like 2 or 3 years after my father died. Which a lot of y'all saw that because I was on the platform already. So those of y'all members who was with me on Patreon and shit, car convos and all that, y'all saw me go through the shit firsthand. And then when I did realize, oh, this is coming from this. These behaviors and this thing that I'm allowing and this seesaw and these, just the way shit is going, the way nothing looks familiar to me anymore, even though I'm in it, I didn't go anywhere, right? This is because of this. This pivot, this loss, I lost me. You know when people say, yo, when I lost this person, I lost myself. That's a real thing. And I think people who haven't experienced loss or haven't experienced a really prominent loss in their life, like, yeah, I lost a grandparent, but I wasn't close with them. Or, you know, I lost a friend, but I ain't seen that person since 8th grade and we in college. You know, like, there's a lot of people that have experienced loss, but on a very surface level. When you are in the front row of a funeral, it is different. And I'm using that as a metaphor. My father didn't even have a funeral. He died during the pandemic. But when I had that realization almost 3 years later, 2 years later, of the fact that I was still affected from that, I didn't even have the time to process it before I lost my brother, which I'm going back to the post that I made yesterday. I know I'm all over the place, but I need to give context. That's just the way that I am. I understand that majority of people, even people in my own life, don't understand just how much of an impact they had on me when I lost my brother. It's not my blood brother. For anybody who's new here, is somebody that I grew up with since I was really young. We met in the streets. We lived our life in the streets. We came from really broken dynamics and really broken homes, and we kind of bonded off of that. It was never romantic. It was never funny. It was never none of that shit. This was somebody that was like, this was like my brother. And so I went through a lot of shit in my life, and in every point and in every pivot, this man was there. When I lost my father, when everything. When I was sick, when I was going through chemo, when I was going through all type of shit, this person was the one. Most people in my life didn't even know I had any problems half the time. But this man was there with me. There was no matter how many times I would try to like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. There was no, I'm good. It was like this person showed me, this man showed me what it was to have a man in your life, like secure the bag, and not even in a financial way. This person showed up for me and protected me in ways my own father didn't do. Like I love my father to death, bro. That's my heart. But like it doesn't go over me. It's not past me that the dynamic wasn't like, I'm never gonna sell a dream. You know what I mean? I'm not, because my father died, I'm not gonna put him on a pedestal. The man was the furthest thing from perfect. You feel me? It just is what it is. I hate when people do that. People die and then all of a sudden they close to God. I mean, they may be, literally, but like in life they were pieces of shit a lot of times. You feel me? And like, it is what it is. But when I say that, a few years after losing my father, right when I had that realization of this was still affecting me, I had actually had that conversation with my brother. Like, yo, we were in the car, like on the way, he was bringing me home one day, and we were talking, and I remember telling him, like, this shit that's happening is because I need to literally like go in. I was telling him I need to go in hermit mode, and I need to like work through certain things that I'm still dealing with losing my dad. And you know, we had that conversation and shit like that, and it wasn't even a few weeks later, I lost him on New Year's. When that happened for me, I still can't, it's 3 years, and I still can't tell you that I even understand all the ways that shit changed me. Losing him made me ruthless in a way where I'm ready to risk everything, but then also made me the most humble and most cautious, where I want to preserve everything. And I'm literally right on that pivot where I'm this could go either way, you know, which is not healthy. It's not a healthy place to be in, but that's literally the autopilot that I've been in for the last 3 years, especially the last 3 years, but the last 5 or 6. And so I'm saying all of this because I get paid to talk for a living, right? And so all this shit that I just said, people who deal with me day to day, people who work with me day to day, people who are doing the editing with me, or doing the calls with me on coaching, or doing the calls with me on the readings, or watching me live, or whatever, however capacity you deal with me, right? Don't ever get it twisted in thinking that, number one, I got it all together, because y'all should know, I'll be on here, I'll be telling y'all life. But I think I'm being drawn to even sharing this because it's people you dealing with. If this is not you, that you can resonate to the point to where you feeling something that has you at your edge, at your pivot, but yet you're still showing up and dealing with other people. There's also people that you're dealing with every day when you go to work. The miserable bitch that sits across from you in the cubicle L or the cubicle XY, whatever the fuck. And this is not me making excuses for the piss poor behavior that people have. Because I'm the first one to call somebody out, right? If I got to call myself out, I'll be the first one to call you out too. Like, we going down together, boo. So I'm not making excuses for people and their piss poor behavior. But this is for the collective. Me sharing this and getting to this point is for the collective. You, not to make excuses for other people, but to find the reason in yourself, for yourself. You can't be crashing out on people. You can't be allowing other people's negativity and their pessimism and their demonic tendencies and like their evil nature. Like, you can't allow other people's shit. You can't wear that. Especially those of us who have kids, especially those of us who have responsibilities outside. Like, you can't, you've already lost a lot. You know what's crazy is that I'm thinking back to the fucking title. I went on this whole tangent, right? And I'm thinking about the fucking title. You made more with less than what you currently have. Don't start doubting yourself now. Somebody's at a point to where they feel like, fuck it, we ball. Like, you know, it's I've already lost everything. I've already sacrificed everything. I ain't got nothing to lose, whatever, right? Because of who you lost, or because of what you're dealing with and the parts of yourself that you lost when you lost these people, or you had to move away from these situations. I was just explaining to somebody yesterday something that we've worked through on this platform mad years ago. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was saying that trauma is not what we go through. It's not the rape, it's not the assault, it's not the beating, it's not the things that we went through. It's the part of us that we had to lose in order to survive after going through what we went through. It's the part in you that dies. That's what's trauma. And that's why trauma is so long standing, because it's a void, is what it is. It's a void space, sis. For some of us, it's more than one occasion, it's more than one thing, it's more than one emptiness, however you want to. I took out like 9 decks today. We were supposed to be pulling cards. Here we are, right? And it's fucked up too, because it's like, most of the people I read for, we're tired. We're tired of being the bigger people. Like, always having to be the adult in a situation, or always having to be the one that's understanding, always having to be the one to kind of eat shit a little bit, because we could go tit for tat, but like, we know what that's going to bring us. It's never good for us. You feel me? So it's exhausting as fuck. But I think that a lot of us have to make peace with the fact that the parts of us that we've ignored, or the parts of us that we've had to forget, we had to do that in order to preserve. Because this also brings me back to when I was talking about Izzy and everybody, because a lot of people go through this, where they go through shit in their childhood that, or even adult life, but you go through something and it's so traumatic and it's so hurtful, it's so painful, that your brain trains you to forget it even happened. Even some people, sometimes they tell me like, I got this one memory that is like a fucking nightmare, that I don't know if it's a memory or if it was a dream. Mad people tell me that, even after like they're adults. So this is not something that's subjective. This is something that a lot of us, the majority of us, experience. But I think making peace with the fact, because like I said, when I first got off the call this morning, I was triggered. Because I was like, bitch, I do not want to talk about that shit on live. What? I'm just now coming to grips with this shit myself. I don't want to talk about this shit live, you know? Especially different, if I would have been talking to the members, that would have been a different thing, you know? Because it's condensed. It's like private. It's behind closed doors. That's the feeling anyway. But I think that's the message in itself. It's like, there's a lot of things that you could blame yourself for. There's a lot of things that you could kick yourself in the ass about. But that you have to have the realization too, like, you going through life for the first time that you can remember right now, you know? And you didn't know any better, but now that you know better, you can change it. But when you didn't know any better, you're going to waste time beating yourself up about the things that you did when you didn't know any better. So that, and also remember that when you deal with other people, or when dealing with other people, a lot of people not even demonic. A lot of people not even evil for real. A lot of people just dealing with so much hurt. They don't have the capacity. They don't understand healing for real. They may have heard the term, but they don't understand really the calisthenics that it takes to actually pull it off. You'd be surprised. And so a lot of times that anger gets projected onto other people. Again, whether we at the workplace or whether it's a familial thing, it happens every day. But I also feel like it's not, again, we're not making excuses for the motherfuckers who act this way. Identify it and place them where they belong. Because you got a choice. You can stay where you've been. But remember, you got there because you didn't know any better. So you can stay there now that you know better. But after now that you know better and you stay there, this is what happens from now on is on you. Or you can move the fuck on. And in moving on and moving forward and separating yourself and having these boundaries and developing this self-love to a level that you probably never knew before is going to bring in something that you didn't even know was possible, or something that you didn't even know was in the cards for you. No pun intended. For some of us, this is going to be romantic. For some of us, it's going to be a romantic partner that comes in that treats you the complete opposite way than you've ever been treated before. Even in the good relationships, the good parts of the relationships that you've had in your past, this person is going to be the complete opposite of that. Not complete opposite is toxic. It's the complete opposite of like those fucked up situations you was in. Even though you had good times, and for anybody who's just listening to me and not watching, I'm doing the quotation, because we love to do that. We love to fucking romanticize situations that gave us hell. Why? I'm still trying to figure that out. But as humans, we literally love to do that shit. Like, you break up with somebody and then you hurt. Which, you're right, you're going through the motions. But then how are you going to fix yourself and say you miss somebody that gave you hell? Knew you couldn't swim and threw you in the deep. You miss them. What are you saying? What are you saying? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why we romanticize shit like that, but a lot of us do that. This is going to be the complete opposite. There's nothing to romanticize. This is someone, it's the emperor and the empress, right? And so this is energy, and it's not a game, not with the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's going to give you the space to feel out what you need to feel out, give you the space to grow, give you the space to shrink if you need to temporarily. Still gonna be there to fish you out when you've been in there too long. You're turning into a fucking lobster now, shrimp. You're shriveling. You need to come out. You've sat in your emotions. You were supposed to do the doggy paddle. You didn't even fucking float, bitch. You're playing yourself. This is somebody who's gonna hold you accountable. This is somebody who's gonna respect you. For some of us, if this is not a romantic partnership, this is your divine masculine energy. Because if you're new here, we all have both. Feminine energy, even if you're a man and you have a penis between your legs and you're the most bravo motherfucker to walk the planet, you have feminine energy in you. That's where empathy, because as a man and you don't have empathy, you go back to your mom and let her know she fucked up, okay? Every man has feminine energy and masculine, and every woman has feminine energy and masculine. Sometimes when we go through trauma, we have to heighten on one end or another, right? Or when we choose piss poor behaviors and patterns, we have to hone in on one more than the other. That's why a lot of toxic women have masculine energy only, And it's not that you only have it. It's that's the only thing that's visible. You're super assertive. You're super masculine. You're super aggressive. Like you're super, super, super. It's supposed to be balanced. We're in Libra season. Maybe that's why we're talking about this. And so for those of y'all where this is not a relationship, this is parting ways from shit like this. And then it's not putting blame either. It's like, this is who you are. This is what you chose. This is the path that you're on. I respect it. Like I said, if you like it, I love it. But you got to do it over there. You can't do it over here. Over here, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm trying to build this brick for brick. I'm trying to be soft enough where I love myself enough where I can be soft again. But not soft enough to where you're going to play in my face again with the masculine energy. So damn near an hour on here telling y'all not only my life story, but our story. Because even though I use like I said, I use my story, my facts, my feelings to articulate the message. Like I literally could have did without that story time, but like I be needing y'all to feel me. Because nothing about these parts of the journey is ever superficial for me. Maybe that's also my dad's fault. Motherfucker was a Scorpio Libra cusp. There was nothing surface level about that motherfucker. Even in his most toxic behaviors and patterns, if you pull the layers back enough, you understand there was some deep-rooted shit in the reasons why certain things transpired. It took me a long time to understand that. But I'm grateful that I learned it and I understood it before he passed away. I'm grateful for that. I know I've been on here mad long talking to y'all, but I don't feel like, I feel like I want to continue with more cards. So I'm going to grab one of the Oracle decks and we'll just pull some random messages for the Oracle decks. I'm afraid to like say, we're going to do it quick because, you know, here we are. I feel like low-key, I knew this was going to happen. Like maybe not like this, to this capacity. But I knew that I knew it was going to be a long one. Maybe that's why I took out all the decks. I don't know. Shout out to everybody who listens to me while they working. So many of y'all this last like week or two have been hitting me up like, yo, you be taking me to church and I'll be at work. I'll be at work. My bad. I'm sorry. Yo. On a brighter note though, somebody hit me up yesterday and was like, I opened it yesterday, but this was like the other day they hit me up and they were like, yo, not for nothing, you be having me in my bag. And a lot of times you be talking about shit and I'll be uncomfortable listening to it, but I thug it out. And then after the fact, I go home and somebody literally, shout out to you. Again, I don't want to say your name because I don't like putting people on Front Street. But like somebody was like, a woman, she was like, yo, because I've been going live since last week, you know, like every day, which I used to do it, but I haven't done it in a long time. So I don't even know if she's newer here or if she was with us back then. But anyway, she was like, yo, it be uncomfortable a lot of the shit you be saying because it be hitting. But I stick through it, and then I'm noticing that ever since you've been going live every day, when I go home, I have more patience with my kids. I have more tolerance with my mom because she was, you know, her mom not really too good looking with their relationship. But she was like, you know, I'm noticing that I'm having more of like a... She was like, it's like when people who go to church and they love to go to church because they say they have that feeling after church. She was like, I feel like that after I hear your messages. Since you've been going live every day, I've been feeling like that. That shit made me feel so good because that wasn't my intention. I didn't even know that I was going to be able to have that effect. You feel me? But to know that, it's pretty dope, especially considering, like I told her, not for nothing, that's not isolated. Because I feel like this is why, too, I've been going live every day again. Because I lost sight of, like, what that was like. Like I said, we used to do it before. And I stopped doing it for a while because life. But since last week, I've been drawn to doing it every day again. And every day, I'm noticing that I got more patience with certain things and people that I deal with on a day-to-day that I used to want to wring their neck. And now I'm working with you. Now I'm being nice, extra nice. Like, I'm not losing my sanity over this shit. I'm still bordering it. But, like, so it's not something that's one way. But it took her to tell me that for me to realize that it's happening to me, too. So shout out to everybody who's at work listening to me. I know it ain't easy. It ain't easy to deal with my ass, I promise you. Stop playing with me. Hey. Like I was just talking about this. Toxic and longing. I was just saying, stop romanticizing the shit that was not good for you. I think somebody may be doing this, or a lot of us do this, because I don't want to single nobody out. A lot of people do this. Whether we talk about it or not. Most people don't talk about it. How about that one? But a lot of people do experience this. It's easier to romanticize something that was fucked up than to admit just how fucked up it was. You ever telling somebody a story about something you went through? Let's say you're telling your girlfriend about something that happened with one of your exes, right? And there's a reason why the conversation comes up. It's never like someone offers this. It's always in the capacity of, or the context of, your homegirl is telling you something and asking you for advice or sharing something, and like, this is what y'all doing. Y'all building and y'all learning about each other, and you know, you in the middle of this type of conversation. And so your homegirl says something, and then you come out and you say something. But when you start talking, your homegirl, and with everything that she went through, is looking at you like, yo, because I've been through some shit too, but like, that's not normal. That wasn't okay. This happened to you when you were 12? Or like, this happened to you with that person that you was with for that long, that everybody loved that person? That was what was happening for real? Like, it's like you talking and you get stopped in the middle of your sentence because somebody's like, that's not okay. That's not good. You know? That's why that feeling that you get the moment, because you're so accustomed to romanticizing the situation, even the most toxic of situations, no pun intended, the toxic card is on the fucking table. You get so used to doing that, that in the moment where somebody stops you, like, wait, your heart drops. Because it's not like you didn't understand that it was hurtful and traumatizing, right? You understood those things, but it was easier for you to hide those things. It was easier for you to mask those things. Even for the people who share and say like, yeah, I went through a toxic experience. I went through this, and this. You ever have somebody, I do this a lot. I just love the way they just be making me put myself out there. But I do this a lot. When when I'm talking to people, especially in the calls, and I'm talking to people about my own personal experiences, and I'm trying to help them understand certain things to do with themselves too. I'll talk about things like sexual abuse. I'll talk about things like abandonment. I'll talk about things like brick ass below 10 degrees and you gotta sleep outside. I'll talk about things like that, and I'll talk about it with a straight face. And I'll be on these calls and people be looking at me like, with tears in their eyes. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You know, but I say it the way that I say it, and I'm so like almost casual with it. Partially because I've romanticized a lot of it. There's parts of the things that I've experienced in my life that, like I said before, you come to a point where you have to figure out how to live with it. And so at some point when you haven't ascended enough, you think, well, I'm either going to hide it so that I can move past it, or make it seem like I've moved past it, or I'm going to go through the thick of it. You know how I always tell y'all the road less traveled type shit? Less desirable. I'm gonna go through the thick of it. I'm gonna face it on head on. I'm gonna do the therapy. I'm gonna cry about it. I'm gonna scream it to the top of my lungs. I'm gonna share it publicly. I'm gonna do all the things. Most people don't want to do that. Most people are afraid of doing it. A lot of people don't realize, especially if you're talking about relationships, romantic ones, a lot of people don't realize that they can do that. Because a lot of times when you go through toxicity, before you get to the point of, well, this motherfucker was just toxic, before you get to understanding that this is just their disposition, this is just the choices that they've chosen to do, you go through the empathy of, they don't mean to be that way. Then this is why women who get abused, they make excuses for their abusers. They don't, even men, like if they got abused as kids or shit or by their parents, they a lot of times they'll say, but my mom, she didn't know any better, she this, she that, which those things can be true, but those things don't negate the fact that the abuse still happened. And so all of this being masked is why people romanticize situations that they should not be romanticizing. Situations that should not be romanticized, period. The longing card is literally what I just went on a little mini tangent in my big tangent and saying like, why the fuck we do this? How you miss somebody that made you miserable. I remember I was saying that a few minutes ago. That's this. And so I think somebody is actually having this moment for themselves in their own personal journey of like, you could be telling someone this, someone could be telling you this, but I think for the most of us, this is us looking in the mirror and like, why? Because I wouldn't have taken this person back 1900 times if I wasn't romanticizing the fucking behavior that they were projecting. So why the fuck did I do that? Somebody is holding themselves accountable, which is a good thing. It's just not going to feel good off the rip. That's what it is. It's like, and I think a lot of times that's why society, it's so easy for society to make it seem, or to like, you ever hear a woman telling her story? I follow this girl. I don't even know if I want to talk. I'm going to talk about, she's talking about it publicly. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to say who she is, but there's a girl who got a pretty solid platform on Instagram, and I follow her. I've been following her for a long time. She's done a bunch of different shit on social media. Was like, you know, she's like a micro influencer, but she's pretty dope. And like the things that she says and shit like that, it's not like craziness and all that stuff. It's not superficial and shit. So I've been following her for a little while. Somebody I know one time tried to tell me a story about this girl that they knew her in real life, and I stopped this person because I didn't want to hear it. Like, it's not my business. Why are you telling me anyway? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. But that was a few years ago. And then fast forward to now, this woman is like, her whole platform, she was married, she had kids with this person, we all seen it play out, her baby shower, her gender reveal, everybody was so happy for her, all this stuff. You know, you never know what's going on behind closed doors. Now she's coming out and she's saying the relationship was super abusive, it was super toxic, and she's using her platform to speak up, because from my understanding, the other person is using, not that they have a platform, but they're using social media because she has a platform to try to badger her or like bring her down. It's typical textbook narcissistic shit, what the other person is doing. My point in saying this and speaking about her in period is because she fuck what anybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like because she gets some hate on there too. You know, like people are like, stupid people that don't even know this woman from a hole in the wall trying to dictate her story and her journey, and still she still gets on there every day and she's helping women because she's expressing and sharing her part and her journey and her. It's brave as fuck, because even though I just was telling y'all some of my business, y'all still don't get all the context. You feel me? Because I ain't there yet. We're not doing that. This is not that type of party. But on her platform, she's very raw. Like, she's very much like, this is what happened, this is how it went down. You know what I mean? And so I'm saying all of that because it takes a lot for somebody to get to that point. It takes a lot for somebody to, especially if you have kids, right? Because especially once things go on the internet, they don't come off, you know? And especially if you got a bigger platform. So shit like that, for me personally, I feel like I said, I tip my hat to people like that. Women like that specifically, men too, because men go through shit, and you see there's a lot of platforms where men use their platforms for positive things. But again, I can't speak towards men because I'm not a man, right? But I know that for women in particular, it's not easy to get on platforms and do shit like that. Like I said, I just gave you guys a snippet of certain things just to be able to break down certain messages. This woman is giving full context, describing situations, and like sharing and doing God's work, essentially, is what she's doing. I know most people, they don't see it that way, but that's essentially what it is. Because with as big as a platform as she got, there's gonna be at the very least one woman who hears her story and decides, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna give this person a third chance to play in my face. Like, we're not doing that, you know? So, longing and toxic. Why would that be the first thing to come out? Like, what are we doing today? What is happening? If I would have been tapping into the fucking chat, I would have been like, Shayna, please. Where's Venus right now? Because what is going on? What is going on? Oh. There's a masculine who's super paranoid. I want to say something so bad. There's a masculine that's super paranoid. That their truth is going to get out. For some, this ain't going to be for all. For some, and I'm dead ass. I'm not even trying to be funny. For someone here, there's a masculine who's paranoid that his truth about his sexuality is going to be put out there. That's not for everybody. Also, masculine energy being afraid, paranoid, cautious, insecure, guarded. Because the negativity they brought to or brought someone through, because they're showing me a man specifically, because it's masculine energy, but there's a man on the card. Because I usually be like, masculine energy, it could be a woman, and it could be. It could be. However, excuse me, it's very much giving me this is a man. Take it however it resonates for you. There's a masculine energy that did some really foul shit to a feminine that has a public platform. This is why they just brought me to speak about my good sis. I didn't say her name because, again, the privacy thing is like really big for me. But even though she's on a huge public platform, but it's her story. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to dictate that. But this right here is exactly what I was just saying when I was telling y'all about that woman. Because there's a masculine who's paranoid. Masculine energy, paranoid. You're gonna tell people about me. I don't want that. I'm scared of that. I'm afraid of that. I don't want people to see me for who I am, for what I am. You feel me? It's not funny, but I'm laughing because it's never fun when the rabbit got the gun. Why would you ever think to play with somebody? You know what's crazy too? It's like, and I say this to people a lot. It's almost sad how much I have to remind people that someone telling their story of what they went through when they were dealing with you or in a relationship with you, whatever, the things that you were doing and how things were going. When someone is saying this, expressing this, sharing this to other people, whether they're on a public platform or whether they're talking to your family, telling your mother, what did you raise? Because this motherfucker XYZ LMLPQRS, who is this? What is this? What is going on? That's not somebody talking shit about you. That's somebody recounting what you've done, your actions. That's someone sharing their experience. Talking shit is like someone's lying, saying, oh, this person, blah, 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 and blah, 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 didn't happen. That's talking shit. When someone's sitting there and saying the truth, just because you don't want them to reiterate it, just because you don't want to hear it, doesn't mean that that's them talking shit. I definitely felt like I had to reiterate that for somebody, because it's like people would lie on you, lie on you, lie on you, lie on you, and then the minute you open your mouth and say the truth, now you're the bad guy. But why you didn't leave me the fuck alone? That's a specific dynamic between two people. There's somebody who is there's a masculine energy who's paranoid. Yo, this bitch is gonna say XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. She's gonna tell I cheated, I lied, she bagged me with another man, she bagged me with a tranny, blah, 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 which I don't use that term, but this is like somebody saying, like, oh, this, that, blah, 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 right? You paranoid about these things that actually happened. My thing is, me the reader, my thing is like, so you wasn't paranoid when you was doing these things? Because, like, no judgment, right? If you gay, or if you want to be with other women, or if you want to be a soltero, you don't want to be tied down, that's cool. That's your choice. Those are your choices to make. But, like, why do you fucking feel the need, and it's ego, I'm getting somewhere with this, why would you feel the need to drag somebody along and lie to them along the process? And they always choose the right people, because they choose the people who are super empathetic. This is what you ever hear people be like, narcissists and empaths always find their way to each other. They don't. Narcissists literally fish out, and they pick purposefully the empaths, especially the ones that have like really solid friend dynamics, really solid family dynamics, that's really like about their business, really stand on you know what I'm saying, like they really like true in their authenticity, and really like probably even in the best time of their life. Like, narcissists hand pick these people. Why? Well, because there's a fucking distortion in their brain. It gotta be I'm not a doctor, but it gotta be some type of distortion in their brain that tells them, or somehow has convinced them that, well, if I keep this empath close to me, I'm smarter than them, right? So they're not gonna be able to discern my shit. I'm smarter than them. They're empaths, but they're smart enough that other people, they're not smarter than me. That's number one. Number two, they're gonna be empathetic to the point where if I do get bagged with anything, they're going to be understanding to the point of oblivion, because that's what empaths do. They give chances because they're empathetic. They can empathize. So they give chances and chances and chances. They try to see the good always. That's number two. Number three is really interesting, because number three is like, people can never tell me that someone who has narcissistic traits or tendencies is an evil, because it's not that they aren't aware of their behavior. They are very much aware of their behavior. And so number three is they choose empaths, people who are empathetic, because it's almost like they feel like because they're together with this person's bubble, or this person's protection, or this person's connection to spirit, or this person, like whatever it is, right? It's like the thing that protects this person, because I'm next to this person, because I'm with this person, is going to protect me. I don't really know how to articulate that in a different way, but there's a under, because, and they say it. This is not something I'm pulling out of my ass. They say it. Well, you know, we're together, and so we naturally, this is how you are, so naturally I'm the same way. We're together. They're really not the same way as you. They're the complete opposite. The thing is that they're using the things that you've been through, or the way people respect you, the way people love you, the way people show up for you, they're using that as like a mask for their shit. So when people say, like, so many people have said this to me, I don't know how the fuck I could be so empathetic and I always end up dealing with people who, that's because you're not utilizing your discernment. That's because you're still not done on your self-love journey. You can be an empath and still got some work to do, okay? Because the narcissists, they know what they're doing. There's no mistake when they pick you at all. And the fact too of that, this also tells me that somebody has actually walked away. Because they're not paranoid. Like I said, they're not paranoid when they're doing the bozo shit they're doing. And again, this is not me saying being gay is wrong, because some of the people that I love the most in this world are gay. Okay? Men and women. And so that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this bozo shit because they have to do it behind the closed doors. I always tell people, especially men, if you gotta lie about what you're doing, my dad used to say, that's not a gangster. That's not G. That's not somebody keeping a G. That's not somebody having the juice. Like, a real player is not somebody that gotta lie to all the women they dealing with or all the partners that they dealing with. A real player is gonna tell you, yo, I'm seeing you, and if you with the shits, we with the shits together, but like, I'm not only seeing you. I'm gonna be seeing Shirley and Lisa too. We good, right? All right, we good. That's a real player for real. Because everybody is on board. Everybody is an adult, I would hope. Everybody is like, knows what's going on. Everybody got a role to play. That player shit, that isn't, I'm with you, I'm lying, I gotta go over here, I gotta lie to her, I gotta lie to him, I gotta lie to she, I gotta lie to me at the end of the day. Because what am I missing in my own life that got me feeling like I gotta overcompensate? I don't know why they got me on this, but I am gonna say this. And it pisses people the fuck off. You know how many guys I've had arguments? Well, they've had arguments with me because I'm not gonna argue back with you. I'm not gonna argue back with you. I will believe this to the day I drop. There's nothing no one can ever tell me. There is no statistic, there is no proof, there is no nothing that no one can ever tell me. As a man, if you have a multitude of partners, whether it's simultaneously all at the same time or sporadically, like just constantly a new bitch every 3 to 6 months, you're gay. Period. You mean to tell me that you get buns on a regular? You got females on the regular. You have a fucking multitude of fucking women, a lot of times throwing themselves at you. And it's not enough? No? You know why that is? Because what you're soaking in isn't what you're after. It's like you could drink 9 juices, bro, and you're going to still be thirsty. You know why? Because what you need is water, not juice. You can be, in this year alone, we're already in October. We got a few more months for the rest of the year. But from January all the way to October, you could have fucked 19,000 women. You're not that man. Like, you, because somebody's making me feel like I just get bitches. No. You need to be looking for a man. I'm going to die on that because there's no way. I don't even, there's not even no going back and forth. Like, it's there. It's there. There's no way. And also, I know a lot of motherfuckers are going to be uncomfortable with this, and I don't give a fuck. Okay? How can I put this in the most biblical way possible, right? Not really, but you know what I mean. I know a lot. All right, let's see. My bad, guys. I was getting a call. I don't know if y'all can see me now, but I hope so. Let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear me or see me. That call might have fucked it up for me. I don't know. I don't know. She's back. You guys can see me? Thank you, Chauncey. I, first of all, can't see none of my fucking, the old super chat, the old chats from a few minutes ago. I was getting a phone call, so it kind of like cut out for a second there. So the cards that came out while the call was coming in is blocked and recharge. Yeah, recharge. I had to think about that for a second. Block and recharge. Which before this came out, because this came out like this, right? So before this came out, I was saying that somebody, it's funny because I was saying somebody needs to go out and come back. It was me. I needed to go out the live and come back in the live because I was getting a phone call. Listen, spirit be funny, yo. Spirit be funny. I gotta give it to spirit. Spirit gotta, I think my spirit guide gotta be like Robin Williams or something. Like, I swear, my spirit guide used to be a comedian or something in their day. Gotta be. But may he rest in peace. Blocked and recharge. I was saying you need to come out of something and go back in. Somebody is also making me feel like they need to block you. They need to take a break from you. You're too much for them. If that's what they need to do, that's cool. But when they unblock you, don't let them back in. Because their need to block you was because right there they were telling you that you're too much for them. They don't have the capacity to keep up with you. So you can choose to let them back in, but then you're going to be picking up the slack for as long as they're in your space. That was very simply put. Then I got sipping, and I was laughing because we were just talking about masculine energy for a while, and the feminine is here. And then Michael, Archangel Michael, I was going to say 9 different things here, was right under the divine feminine, which Saint Michael speaks of protection. Excuse me. So this is the divine feminine. Even though she's being circulated, even though she's being talked about, even though she's being, somebody's trying to drag her, somebody's trying to talk shit about her character, somebody's trying to do the most. Remember we saw the divine masculine with paranoid? It's the divine masculine is trying to paint a picture. Rumors, gossip, nosy people, sipping. That's what the card represents, right? Somebody's trying, baby, they can try and try and try. They can go out, come back in, try again. No bulto, you heard? Protection. The divine feminine is protected. You made more with less, collective. You made more with less than what you have right now. Don't start doubting yourself now. It's like you peaceful now. You in a space where you get to like feel your energy, be in your authenticity. You don't gotta be worrying about nobody. You don't gotta be checking nobody's phone. You don't gotta be keeping tabs on nobody. You in a space where you the most tranquila that you've been in a long fucking time. And you think because people are gossiping, the gossip card in the Venetian is the rats card. Rats is what Eugene gave the gossip card. It's somebody's, see, your pain, what you went through is somebody's tea. You see the little tea kettle? And that's fine. Because for 2 reasons, right? Number 1, it's fine because that just elaborates for me, validates for me that we're not the same. My pain is your tea. I can't hate a woman enough to sit around a table and kiki with no other bitches about something that broke another woman. I don't care who the other woman is. Because I'm a woman. And when it's my turn, because the table rotates, it is the wheel of fortune. When the table turns and it's my turn, I know how it feels when they sitting around kikiing about me. That's number 1. Number 2, this is all they got. So it's okay. Let them talk. First of all, the half the shit they talking about, they don't know nothing about. They were not there. Second of all, half the shit they talking about, they're not strong enough to get through. They would have drowned. They would have not made it through it. They keep talking about me and waiting for my downfall, my next downfall, but they can only talk about waiting for my next downfall because I already made it past my last one. You're not built like me. The only option you got, and you cannot sit with me. So the only option you got is to sit at that flinky ass table with that watery ass brisk iced tea and sit around with bitches that you don't even like and that don't even like you. That's your only option. Because whoever the divine feminine is, her energy is protected. And there could be somebody who has been or is being like pushed away from doing something that they love to do or something that they have had plans on doing. Somebody has refrained from visiting a certain place, visiting a certain family member, taking a certain class. Like, somebody has refrained from doing something because they want to avoid these bitches. Fuck these bitches. Are you dumb? Fuck these bitches. Like, and for some of y'all, these bitches is men. I'm not even gonna go there because I just already have my foot in their ass. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. But listen, fuck them. Straight up. They don't got no choice, collective. You not listen to what I'm telling you. They have to make videos talking about you. They have to go in the group chat and talk and send each other in the group chat the post that you putting on. So they have to do that. You know why? Because they're not big enough to say no shit to your face. They don't have the option. Who was it? Somebody said, I think it was Cardi. I always laugh when I quote Cardi, but like, she be on some shit. I don't know. But Cardi said one time, she was like, if you ever hear a bitch say she don't fuck with me, it's because she cannot fuck with me. That's why she's saying she don't, because she can't. She's not going to say she can't. She's going to say she don't fuck with me. But she don't fuck with me because she can't fuck with me. Because any other females, they genuine, they real ass bitches, I fuck with them. It's what they say at the top. There's no competition. It's networking. There's room for everybody at the top. The bitches that's competing is the bitches that's at the bottom. Fuck what they saying in their group chat. Nigga, post some more shit. Give them some more shit to talk about. You controlling the narrative. They only can say or do the shit that you spun. That's it, and that's all. And let's not forget, the biggest message here is that people who sit around tables talking about other people, what they're really doing is masking the fact that they don't want to talk about their own shit. It's like, I want to say something, but I feel like a lot of people would know who I'm talking about if I say it. How can I put this? Because I don't, again, privacy, right? I know somebody who has built something really dope for themselves. Super dope for themselves. But I know this person, they're so soft. And like, I don't mean it like you soft, bitch, you pussy. It's not like that. I mean like, she's soft. She's very delicate. She's very, like, she don't do things para malicia. Like, she don't do things to shit on people. She don't do, like, she does things genuine, and like, she just loves to genuinely share and this and that and whatever the case. She's very genuine, right, in her delivery. And even her, even with the type of bitch that she is for real in real life, she gets talked about. She gets, like, you'll be surprised how many bitches love each other just off the fact that they do not like her. That's enough to pull somebody back from doing the things that they love the most. I stay telling her, fuck these people. Straight up. Fuck them. Give them some more shit to talk about. Yeah, if I pissed y'all off this year, yo, next year. It's funny because I was just saying to somebody, I was talking, one of the girls that I edit for, I was just telling her, like, because she was saying, like, yo, I stopped by your channel and I caught one of your lives the other day. I love that you going live every day. Like, it's crazy you have time to do that shit with, because this girl, bitch, I love you, right? But the way you be trying me, when I tell you this woman easily sends me like 4-hour videos in increments of like 3 and 4 videos. So we're talking like 28-hour videos to edit. Like, oh, this is going to be broken up into 2 vlogs and I need it by next week. Yo, I love you to death. We're making the fattest bag together. I feel you, but like, you be trying me. Because I was laughing when she said that shit. We were talking regular, and I immediately called her on FaceTime because I know you playing with me. I need you to see my facial reaction, because like, she was not saying it like shady. She was just being funny. Like, we have like friendly banter, right? And so she's basically was like, yes, I'm so proud of you that you're able to go live. You have the capacity to do that, because the bitch knows she sends me 1,900 million hours of fucking content to edit within fucking 2 days, right? So I called her on FaceTime. I'm like, you dead ass right now? Like, we're gonna do that right now? I'm a joke, bro. I'm a joke. At this point, I'm a joke. Yo, somebody feels trapped. Somebody feels stagnant. Somebody feels stuck. This is not a tarot deck, but they're showing me the Hangman. You're not trapped. You're not stuck. And if you're in a hangman situation, it's so that it can show you a different side of something. So if you feel uncomfortable, look at it in the eyes of you're uncomfortable in the position you're in. Maybe that's the sign to move from the position you're in. Feel me? Yo, toxic just, what is happening? Because why the fuck these y'all see me shuffling, right? So toxic, again, thrills, oh shit, trapped, and then salty. I am dead. I am so dead. I feel like this is a cycle that somebody's in. Like if this is a friend of you, or friend, for those of y'all listening, I'm doing the quotations. Somebody envies you because they feel trapped. Like they feel like nothing they do gets them out of the cycle that they're in. Whoever this person is, they running from accountability. This is somebody like balls to the wall, like hauling ass, running in the opposite direction from accountability, because you can always step off that cycle, bro. You wondering why shit keeps happening the same way? Maybe it's because you keep doing shit the same way. What? This is somebody who's also like, they love to be the victim. Literally, the thrills card says continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. The toxic card says drama, arguments, and incompatible. If this is a friend, quote unquote friend, they not your friend. And I mean, if this is a partner, obviously abort mission. The salty card says angry, bitter, and petty. The petty is loud to me too, because it's like, so that they don't have to look at the mirror and blame themselves and be accountable, they're going to blame you or anybody else that's around them. So you're going to keep catching strays. If you feel like you've been catching strays in your friendship and your romantic, like if you feel like, bitch, I woke up, I chose peace today, why the fuck we arguing? You caught a stray. You caught that stray because they ain't got nowhere else to throw it. Once you remove yourself, the stray won't even be in your trajectory. It's not. There's no way that the stray can catch you. You feel me? Being trapped. The trap card speaks of stuck, no options, and unforgiveness. We got this deck. First of all, I didn't even introduce the deck. Nobody was going to put me on about myself. I mean, maybe somebody did, but I can't see the rest of the chat now. I can see like the last stuff. From when Chauncey said she's back, I can see that. Everything before that, I can't see. So I don't know. Maybe somebody was like, bitch, what deck we using? So it's the What's the Vibe deck. I don't remember who, but I know it was... This was one of the decks we got during Live Miss. And it's not that I don't use these decks. Because I said before, I got 3 oracles on the table. I don't use them to film. These decks, I use them a lot. Not daily, but I use them a lot. But I use them for like the personal readings or like my own readings. Because somebody's like, I've never seen these cards. We need to stick with these cards. Because even I'm thinking like, why I don't be using them on the lives? We're going to be using them on the lives though. Definitely. 222 on the clock. How long have I been live? I've been live like 3 hours. Yo. Right? No. 12:30. 1:32. 2 hours. It's about to be 2 hours. What time I went live? 11:30 or 12:30? I think it was like 12:30. I don't even know. Vacation. Get away, relax, and have fun. I just was talking about moving away from something. You need to get away from something. There's no, you need to get away from something, and it may be if it's somebody, this person is mad clingy, literally the card. This person isn't usually clingy with you, but because you're close to moving away from them, all of a sudden they're super attached. They want to be in your skin. But this is like a motherfucker that was an avoidant the whole relationship. Now that I'm just about done with you and I'm about to start moving my shit out. Now you clingy. Now you in love. Now you want to be in my ass. Nah. That's mad suspect. We're not going to do that. We not. Look, laughter, hopeful. Laughter and hopeful. And I thought to myself, damn, that's a turnaround, because we've been getting nothing but toxic ass cards. It's a turnaround. It's a turnaround that happens only after this. Boundaries. Yo. Because I be going on tangents and I be talking my shit, but then the cards, they be like, yeah, this is that shit we were talking about. That's how I know I'm not crazy, you know? That's how I know. You got somebody around you that's two-faced, abusive, conniving, unpredictable. This person is always sin quieto. That's one of my favorite Spanish words. Aside from puñeta and aside from hijo de la gran puta. Those are my two favorite. But like, sin quieto is one of my favorites too. Somebody who understands Spanish is like, damn, bitch, you didn't even go easy on us. Because those are curses, by the way. Not sin quieto. Sin quieto means like somebody is antsy. They can't sit still. They're nervous, right? Stressed out. They're worried. And they're getting migraines. Somebody has a lot of tension. What's triggering this in somebody is someone else's glow up. Remember I was saying with divine masculine, well, with masculine, it wasn't divine. With masculine energy, that masculine energy was really triggered, was really, they were scared that, you know, something was going to come out or that their true colors was going to be visible to other people, shit like that. Because for some, this could be as simple as like you go through a breakup with a friend or a romantic partner. They could have went through a crash course trying to replace you, trying to be booed up, trying to prove to themselves and everybody else that they better off without you. They wasn't the problem. And I feel, collective, like you've been chilling. We saw feminine energy with Saint Michael. Protection. It literally says protection, mad big on that card. You've been chilling. Mad tranquilo. And I feel like the more calm you've been, the more abrasive, the more sin quieto somebody is getting. They don't like the fact that they can't eat. They not comfortable. They're not. They're not comfortable with somebody. It's somebody's glow up too that got them stressed out. How is it that you're doing better than what you were doing when you was with me, or you doing better than what I'm doing? This is little kid shit. And this is a grown-ass person, but this is little kid shit. This is like somebody competing. This is a friend. This is like, so ever since we stopped fucking around with each other, now you too good? Nah, I'm not acting like I'm too good, but you see that my shit is popping now. Okay. That's what that is. If it was a relationship, it's the same concept. It's like you happy now. You chilling now. Like you do all the things that you didn't do. Look, somebody's like, please, I'm sorry. You know what's funny? This is making me think of my Alicia. I'm about to go inside. Rash actions and insincere apology. It's the apology card. Rash actions, puñeta. And insincere, arrogant at the top. Y'all see that? On the apology card? Somebody's like, please, 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 please. Look at the cat. Please, please, please. Fuck you, nigga. Antisocial and blocked. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Silent treatment. Nothing to say. Moving on. Somebody's going to feel left out, though. It says it on the card. Left out. You know what's crazy? Left out. It's crazy to see left out on the antisocial card. You know how many people... You know how many people hit me with the, I'm antisocial. Are you dumb? Because, like, when you're around people you like, you don't shut the fuck up. So, you're not antisocial. Antisocial is you don't talk to nobody, don't deal with nobody. You don't... Antisocial, you probably don't even like your own company. Okay? Like, I don't know what's up with the labels. People love to put labels on themselves. You just quiet because you don't fuck with people. These people. Or you quiet because you don't know these people. Give it some time. You're gonna be chatty fucking patty. You're not gonna be able to shut the fuck up. Like, you're not antisocial, please. But I'm saying this because antisocial, and I always tell people, it's like, you not, how dare you live your life like you antisocial, advertise that shit, damn near wearing shirts saying the shit, and then you feeling away and you feeling like you left out because nobody trying to fuck with you, nobody's inviting you, nobody is gonna bother having you in the fucking social function, because for what? So you can sit in the corner with a face? You feel left out, or you want to be left out? You can't be the victim to the circumstances that you've created. What we doing here? Because how the antisocial card got the left out, feeling left out? What? Are you dumb? You said you wanted that. Somebody could have initiated the breakup or acted like a total cunt. I don't even use that word, but it felt really good saying it. So somebody was acting like that, initiated something, and now that they got what they asked for, somebody's like, but I didn't, that's not what I wanted. Okay. What you wanted was to seek some thrills outside of this, is what you wanted. And now you got it. And that's all you're going to have. Because somebody is no longer going to have access to something else. The blocked card came out twice. I'm not going to lie. First of all, it smells like curry. I do not like the smell of curry. No lo soporto. Ni pa un minuto. Oh my God, I don't like it. The block card coming out twice is interesting for me because me personally, I don't block nobody. I always tell people, you're going to watch my shit and cry after if that's what you choose to do, because I ain't blocking you. I'm not fucking up my algorithm and fucking up my bag to keep you blocked. That's like people who have like big followings and they be like, I'm blocking you. I don't care. If you say something I don't agree with, I'm blocking you. Like, we need to do some deep diving into like psychologically where that comes from. Because like, you so bothered by a stranger's comment that you got to block all of them and act like they don't exist. Why do you care so much? Why does it affect you so much? Because fuck these people. You feel me? Anywho, wishful thinking. A second chance, deja vu, and nostalgia. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I saw the soulmate card. And it's funny because I bypassed it and shuffled. And I did it on purpose. And I saw it twice. I can't lie. Right? And so somebody's paranoid that you're laughing now, you're smiling now, you look happier now. Die on that hill, okay? Thank you. The soulmate card coming out twice. Somebody could be trying to avoid dealing with someone because they're afraid, because they know how connected they feel to that person. Does that make sense? Shattered and running. Somebody could be running. Somebody's running from you, collective, because they know just how much they feel for you. Wild concept, but here we are. Like, somebody's afraid that they're not going to be enough. Somebody's afraid that they haven't healed enough or that they're too broken. Somebody's in denial. Somebody's making every excuse in the book to keep running because they're afraid. And just the way I avoided that soulmate card twice, because it didn't come out. I was shuffling and I saw it twice. So that's what I'm saying. So this could even be, this may not even be an ex. This may be somebody that you know on the passing. You met this person before, like casually, or you knew this person in the past. Whatever the case is, but there's a feeling here of like, this person feels very connected to you, soulmate energy. They're afraid of it. But that comes from them being afraid of what they have to identify in themselves before they can bring themselves to be in your space. To be somebody's soulmate, you would have to be connected to them in a way that you're not connected to anybody else. So what would that entail? That's what somebody's running from. Somebody also feels like they don't want to hurt you, and so they know that they're not ready to do the work on themselves, so they're running from you. I hear you and shit, but like, for me, darling, you can keep running. Don't try to pull up after you think you're done with your marathon. For me, the marathon continues. Keep doing those laps. Don't spin the block. Don't collect your 200 and go. Keep running. Ooh, karmics. Those is karmics. Yeah, karmics. I don't even read with this energy, but karmic. Somebody could be coming into your life and they're super clingy. They're love bombing the shit out of you. They're karmic. This could be happening in somebody else's life, like your friend or your sister, your daughter. Watch your daughters. They're not even trying to hear it. Because you're telling them that you're doing too much. They're doing too much. This is too soon. This is too early. Watch them. And they're like, nah. It's my soulmate. You kidding me? It's my person. It's my person. Talk to me in 3 months. Because that's the thing about people who are super karmic and people who are super low vibrational. People who, whether they narcissistic or not. You know how they say it takes a certain amount of time to break a habit? When somebody's wearing a mask, let them sit. I always talk about that guy that does videos and he starts out with, let me cook real quick. I love that man, yo. I swear. And he be saying some shit. I think he's on Instagram. Either way, and I know, because if somebody's like, yeah, but everybody's different. Not these people. If somebody's intentions are not genuine, even if you last with them for 6 months, even if you last with them for a year, 2 years, 10 years, you are going to always be able, even 20 years later, you're going to be able to go all the way back in the archive in their Rolodex. And I guarantee you, it'll be between the 3 and 5 month mark where somebody's true colors start coming out. They start abusing you at this time. You start finding out they were cheating on you around this time. You start finding out some of their lies around this time. Give it that 3 to 5 months. I promise you. This is another hill of mine that I'm going to die on. Because I promise you, if they're not genuine, if they're not even genuine to themselves, fuck being genuine with you. The mask starts to fall between 3 and 5 months. Every time. Sin falta. You heard? Promise you. Te lo prometo, nena. Anyway, anywho, I'm hungry. I've been hungry since I got on here. I've been on here for like 3 hours. So, I love you guys. I fuck with you guys the longest way. My girl, Shyla, is literally scratching at the door. She's like, all right, bitch. You tried it. You've been outside too long. You was gone this morning. I need my cuddle time. You about to come in here and work some more. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Anyway, I love you guys wholeheartedly. My apologies. I know this one was like... I should have handed out some floaties before we started the live. This was one of those lives. And I'm leaving it up. Okay? Because fuck it. It is what it is. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for everybody who's hitting the like button. Thank you guys for everybody who shares, who subscribes, all the things. I appreciate you guys. Members, you guys got content. I think there was a video that should have went up last night. Late last night. So technically this morning. If not, it will be coming out soon in the next few hours, because I do have videos that's like lined up for the members. Personal readings only through the Diamond membership. We were gonna go live today on TikTok, and I was gonna take y'all with me because I like to go to like shake my tail feather on Tuesdays and do salsa night. But honestly, I feel like a crepe in the donkey. And I kind of don't want to go anywhere today. So, I don't know. Maybe we might go live on TikTok later. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think today. I don't think today. Nadine, my darling, I have not forgotten about you. I know I tell you that every day when I see you in the chat. But, like, just know you still right here in my little heart. I didn't forget about you. I got something for you, girl. I got something for you. So... I love you guys, and I will catch you guys mañana. We will be live tomorrow for Hump Day. Hopefully with a lighter reading. Hopefully. I don't know, but we shall see.